What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back to the Righteous Gemstones After Show. We're going to be breaking down episode 8 tonight. Amber gets her gun. Yes, girl. Kelvin and Keith, please just tell me they're not breaking up in this episode. And Jesse finally fesses up. So much drama in this episode. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Get that beat. Get that beat drop.
I'm letting the devil's soul pour into this room.
Yeah, we usually deny Satan, but we are taking him in this week. And the crowd goes wild.
They're here for it.
Here for it. I'm here for it. You're here for it. All very excited to be here for it.
I'm so excited to talk about this episode.
I'm here for it as well.
Yeah.
That's our producer, J-Lo, in the booth. Yes, you heard that right. J-Lo.
Yeah, we got J-Lo in the booth, guys. Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Very excited to do this episode tonight. So much drama. My name's Amy Maestri. I have the Holy Spirit in me tonight. Or maybe Satan. We'll find out by the end of the episode. And look at these wicked green nails over here.
My name's Steph Sebraw, a witch, a comedian connoisseur, HBO connoisseur, and currently what's in me right now is really gross wine. So, God bless. It has been christened though.
It's pretty bad, but I believe it is the blood of Christ. So the rosé version of the blood of Christ, whatever that would be.
It's so funny. Before we get into the episode, we do see your comments, and there was one particularly funny one that tickled me, where they commented on our special segment, which we'll get into after we break down the episode. And that's where it's our righteous rhyme that may not rhyme. And we essentially troll a televangelist who is hypocritical, which is what this show does. And we are not talking about the religion, PSA. We are talking about the people who take the religion and do hypocritical BS with it. And someone wrote something along the lines of, I study the Holy Spirit and I'm truly scared for you. I am fearful of your future. Thank you so much.
So we've succeeded.
Thank you. That is honestly the best compliment I've ever been given. Holy Spirit within me always. Thank you.
It is.
Sorry to sidetrack.
No, we genuinely thank you for your concern over our immortal souls. So
thanks for the view, though.
God bless.
On the real.
Hashtag blessed. Yeah, let's just dive in. As Steph said, we're going to get into our special segment later. We'll hit up some news and gossip to talk about what some of the cast is doing. Really bummed that we only have one episode left after this, though.
I couldn't believe it.
The time has flown.
I don't know how it happened.
Well, it did, and now,
I guess it's
now
HBO.
we're all screwed.
They always have 10 episodes.
We do have a lot to look forward to, though, because they are coming back for season 2, so they're doing a lot of setup for that right now, I believe, as well. But yeah, so last week we got left off with a huge episode with Scotty taking off with the money, a lot of family turmoil happening, Gideon coming clean a little, and so it was just a lot going on. What were your overall thoughts? Just take deep breaths. Just don't think about it. What were your thoughts on this episode?
I love this episode. We've been waiting for Amber to come back with a vengeance, and boy, did she. She served me everything I wanted her to do. Everything I thought her character is capable of, she did. And I'm excited to see where she goes next episode in the finale in future seasons. But I really love this episode. So many funny one-liners, so many breakthrough moments for characters, like literally breakthrough moments. Characters are breaking in front of us, and it's hilarious and kind of sad to see. There was a point where I was like, am I tearing watching the Righteous Gemstones? Get a hold of yourself, Steez.
What is happening? Hey, I'm with you though. I'm right on that same train with you right now. Yeah, I think they did such a great job of giving us so much throughout the season, but still saving so much at the same time. I mean, we couldn't stop. Our jaws will hit the floor in the first episode when it started the way it did. So dark, so crazy, so fast. And then they've been leaving all these little hints along the way, but we're still getting so much of a payoff now, too. Mm-hmm. And this was a huge payoff episode. And yeah, well, tearjerker, too.
Yeah, when Jesse was getting all serious with Gideon, I was like, you should have given me a warning, Jesse.
I know, we didn't know this was coming.
God.
Let's talk about this cold open. Uncle Baby Billy and creepy Aunt Tiffany.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
Who wants to suck on an old man's dick?
I don't even, I apologize for not even being able to formulate words correctly right now.
When that line came in, I said, okay, writer's room, hit me with the good stuff, quick.
Oh, I'm actually like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. We always talk about how much we love how creepy Baby Billy is. This was next level. And I didn't know how to handle it.
I know.
Will never be removed from our brains.
I know. I felt like I was watching something I shouldn't have watched, but I'm not gonna lie, I was here for it.
There was a lot of that in this episode between, Jesse showing the tape, and there's just a whole lot of stuff that you're like, I should be looking away from this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can't. And then, so we obviously, this van, let's talk about this van of Scotty's. It's been through a lot.
It's
been through a lot. And so is Scotty. So obviously they crash into each other. Scotty, we think, is dead. I don't know how that guy keeps living. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops out of the van in the next episode after getting shot through the face.
I know, but when she shot him, I literally, because I thought he was dead when they hit him in the car, and then when she actually shot him through the face and you saw that, I wrote, oh, Scotty's dead. Like, he's dead this time.
As far as we know.
think, unless they introduce zombies, which I wouldn't put it past this show.
Steph, save it for predictions.
Yeah, you're right.
Save it for predictions.
Just sip this gross ass wine.
We're just gonna keep powering through. So they find too that not only does he have a ton of money in the back, but it's gemstone money. So kind of sets up this episode for what they're gonna do with it. Let's see. What do you think they're gonna do? Of course they're gonna take the money. So let's go right into, though, they immediately are like, okay, we have to cover this up. Let's cover up the murder. Let's push it out into the swamp where apparently he thinks it's going to be covered up by the morning.
He's like, oh, high rise in a swamp.
Yes.
Oh
That's what I was like, when he started talking about tides, I was like, is that an ocean? I'm fairly certain it's
Baby
a swamp.
Billy is like the 1% that tried Tide Pods and was like, this seems like a good idea, and now his brain's never returned.
And he's continued to eat them since,
Yeah.
sure.
It's like, it's cheap. It's good. It's like the new top ramen.
I don't even need the toothpaste anymore. You're welcome for that. So from there, we get to see the aftermath. So, of course, Jesse and Gideon are found tied up together in the vault, which is funny to say at all that it's a church vault, because they need all their millions in there, as most churches do. And he has to fess up, that at this point, everyone knows that he was behind it. Amber. Shout out Cassidy Freeman.
Cassidy Freeman plays Amber, if you didn't catch on to that.
Thank you, Steph.
No problem.
I'm just going. I'm drinking some cheap wine and I'm going for it. She had such a great episode. I have loved her through and through, but what a great episode for her. And in this scene specifically, you can see it. She knows there has to be something more.
But also the heartbreak. I've seen it, like, personally, my brother went through a stage like this where you get to a point where you think there's no return, and when there's a happy ending for my brother, don't worry. But she reminded me of my mom, where you're like, you can't be here anymore. You really crossed the line, and that's probably why I got emotional. But I was like, damn, he really broke her heart.
Yeah, because it's also like she was trying to rationalize. I think deep down inside, she really did always know that there was something more wrong, and she just couldn't figure it out. But even if that wasn't the case, I feel like you could also see that part of her too, of just like kind of grasping at straws of like, no, there has to be. There has to be something more. Otherwise, I have to admit that, like, my little baby boy is a monster, which she knew wasn't the case somewhere inside.
Yeah.
So great scene with that. But my God, I was screaming at the TV to have Gideon turn Jesse in at that point.
You wanted that?
I did, but I knew it wasn't going to happen because it had to play out in the episode.
It had to have been Jesse.
Yeah. It had to always go back to him saying it and taking that ownership. But when you see like his mom, Amber, just be like, there has to be something more, and him just being like, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you think I'm a piece of garbage.
Oh, man.
For that other piece of garbage who's my dad.
Who's your husband.
Yeah.
You are so delusional about.
Rough one, but then of course ends on the show so good at always ending on that light note, or having that one really laugh out line bit, Jesse calling his PTSD toxic shock syndrome. I don't know.
That was so funny. That was so funny.
I actually paused it for a second. I was like, wait, he said that, right?
Yeah.
He did, because he also probably ate the Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Him and Uncle Baby Billy were in the back of the church.
Speaking of Baby Billy, really quick, my other note for that scene, his dick would have been bit off, realistically. If they got T-boned by a car mid-roadhead, your dick is off.
That's true.
That's it, though. That's all I have to say about
Well,
that.
we shouldn't even keep reviewing the show. We have to boycott now. That's unrealistic. Obviously, we're done with the show now.
HBO!
God, authenticity. Does it not exist anymore?
I want realism.
Oh, thank you for that, Steph.
No problem.
I guess we'll keep going.
I'm just doing my due
with this
diligence.
farce of a show.
Yeah, it's just giving me toxic shock syndrome.
All over again.
That's why I have trust issues.
Toxic shock syndrome will do that. We're just going to be all over the tracks tonight, guys. just stay with us. Stay on board for a little bit longer. Jesse, Judy, and Kelvin, all in their favorite meeting spot out in the fountain, out by the fountain, starts to realize, so things are unraveling. Gideon has turned himself in, and of course all three of them are just looking out for number one, saying, oh, well, fine, he's out of the family, but you keep your mouth shut. You keep your mouth shut. Almost like round robin of just so little trust, and everyone just making sure their own asses are covered.
Such classic Gemstone behavior. They have no grasp of reality, and they think they understand family and what it means to be family, but they don't even have that either, because if they actually communicated, they probably could have figured this out a while ago, but instead they've all had it out for themselves, and that's why they're all screwed, which we're seeing come to a head at the finale next week.
Exactly. So then we switch back to see, what's going on with Baby Billy and Tiffany. And of course, after that conversation where Judy realizes she needs to kind of continue maybe making these pacts or alliances outside of that group, she goes back to Baby Billy of saying she's ready. My God, it's so sad when she's now calling herself Judy Lee.
I know.
Judy. So she is now, basically groveling to them at this point to stay, because she's realizing that that's kind of like, she thought that was going to be her thing. She thought that she was going to do, I like that she always calls them church songs too. She's going to be church song famous. What were your thoughts as they were do you think that they're gone for good at this point when they're pulling away?
No, I don't think they're gone for good at all. I think that honestly they could help. I don't know, when I first saw it, I was thinking, oh, this could be Jesse's save, that they somehow were involved in the ransom, they got the money, takes the attention off of him, or sidelines the story. But then with the preview, we'll get into that in predictions, it seemed a little bit different. So I don't think that they're gone. I just don't know how they'll be implemented again. But I think that they're here to stay.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of just weaving those layers where it's getting more and more, just it's all just getting kind of laid on at this point, and you're not really sure where they're going to be able to cut through. So then we have the conversation between Eli and Kelvin, and I thought this was a great scene for the two of them. We don't always get one-on-one time between Eli and one of the kids. A lot of times it's two of them or all three of them. I thought this was a great moment for this scene, because from the beginning we've always said oh yeah, Kelvin's a dirtbag too, but he's the only one who seems to somewhere deep inside still have a soul.
Yeah, I don't even know if he is a dirtbag like them. I think he likes the money and uses it, but he doesn't I think Kelvin's ignorance is bliss type, kind of. He doesn't realize the hypocrisy of living that type of lifestyle with church donations. Mm-hmm. But what he does with Keith is truly amazing. I was really shocked to see his character arc, though, because coming off that conversation, I was like, oh, he's going to be the saving grace. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a pretty interesting journey just to see that, yeah, I think he really does think that he's doing good, but he is, like you say, he's very still obsessed with, the stature of it all and the money and, him just, his brand blowing up is kind of his thing, but it's not coming from, a dark place, like with the other ones, I don't think. But I think that scene was a great setup too, because we're starting to see the cracks in Eli also, which I think the kids have seen for a while, and they led up to that with like the Baby Billy entry and everything into the storyline. But starting to see Eli just kind of crumble, because he's kind of realizing too, especially after that flashback episode, of really seeing kind of him and Amy Lee being like just a cute little loving couple that started down this like insane path, and he's starting to see it now, and he'll have a lot of self-reflection. So let's talk about Gideon and Jesse specifically though now. This is the scene.
Yeah.
Are we gonna hold it together?
Yeah.
All right.
I got you.
We have some tissues over there just in case for spilled wine or spilled tears. So Gideon, the bigger man here, takes the bullet. Obviously, it was his fault to begin. He did do all this, so he says, "Yes, I'm fessing up. This is what I've done." Has his mom think that nope, it's just because he wanted money and he's a bad son, and then hands over the tape. Hands over the tape to him. Were you kind of waiting for something else to have been an issue between them, or once we learned about this tape and how that all happened, were you kind of like, okay, well that's it, and it's going to come out at some point?
I think that they've, timing wise, they made it the perfect amount of episodes for Gideon and Jesse to have beef. They did, and now it is time to talk it out, because it's like, damn, one of you guys needs to grow up. And in this case, Gideon did, which to no surprise, I'm not surprised it was Gideon. And it was really, really sad. I mean, it was a really good, actually the most real scene I think that we've seen. And it was really special. But at that moment, I was like, Jesse's going to do something now. He's going to do something. And boy, did he.
They've been great at throwing curveballs at us no matter what, because this in itself was a curveball. It was one of the most like grounded, normal, heartfelt scenes, and it was a curveball.
Yeah. And they still managed to keep it's rare in comedy to have, this is why I love dramedy, because if you can nail the ability to make a comedic character dimensional and somehow grounded sometimes in more of a drama and more of a serious conversation, but at the same time adding lines that would make sense to the character, like when he's like, I'll probably never say this again. Like he made a little joke but then got back to seriousness. Just great writing.
Yeah, and I think the arc that they did with them is really good too, because even in the episodes past, he would get close to being able to have a heartfelt moment, but it would still be in a very Jesse way where he's just kind of a tool by the end of it. And you're like, okay, yeah, I should have seen that one coming. But at the end of this one, you're just like, oh, shit, Jesse. Okay. Damn, I'm crying a little bit and I feel weird about it, but okay.
I know, can you stop?
No tear other than tears of laughter in the next one when we jump into the scene with Judy and BJ. These two have just been gold from the beginning. What were your thoughts on this scene and their relationship and where they're at right now?
They're like a couple from Teen Mom, OG series. Just ratchet.
Just 40.
Just white trash. Just in love, not in love, hate each other, stay with each other, cuss each other out, get an ear piercing because you're feeling wild now.
Oh, he's edgy now.
I just love the scene. I love the fact that they brought in a lesbian that Judy somehow finds jealousy within, and the conversation between them was just hilarious when she was like, what did she say? So you can, you're just trying to find a straight guy so you can sample suck some clean dick.
The stuff that they write for Edie or that Edie comes up with on the spot, because she's a brilliant improviser and they do a lot of improvising on this set, it's just gold. So specific and so good. I also there were two things in this scene that I loved. Those kind of like relationship moments between the two of them, but also just seeing really how kind of delusional Judy is between thinking that she's gonna go be famous for singing church songs, and how I love how she has the whole speech about how it can change a person. Really goes to your head.
I know.
And then also realizing that she never realized that she was being that awful to BJ.
Yeah.
It wasn't that she was a spiteful person. She legit didn't know.
No, she didn't know, and it's interesting she brought up her family, and I think she brought that up not intentionally I think she did it to get the to kind of go into victim mode. But realistically, that's exactly why she acts like that and talks like that, because they are heinous to her. And so how else would she know how to act to anyone else? Sidebar, she does remind me of someone I knew, lived with briefly, who was a billionaire and had no understanding of reality like that. Like, she didn't understand that she was nasty to people because she's in a childlike state. Like, she never really grew up, like, fully formed. But I think the most interesting thing that we found out was that BJ the whole time was, like, miserable.
Yeah, so I mean, what a dynamic to have him just fully, we found out in the last episode, is not religious, doesn't even believe in all of it anyways, is trying so desperately, constantly to win this family over, even though he so does not fit in with them, and is just being abused and tortured and is miserable. And meanwhile, Judy's over in Judyland thinking that everything's great, and she's just joshing him, poking some fun every once in a while.
But she lost it. Her going ape like that outside was a moment that I will never forget.
Oh, I was so, like, I feel like I even let out, like, a deep sigh of relief after Judy got to just let it all out there. On the car, on the cart, on the security guards, just go for it. And Edie Patterson was brilliant in that
Brilliant.
scene.
Her face when the close-up came.
Oh,
amazing.
I loved it.
Chef's kiss.
One of those chef's kiss moments. Steph and I love doing it. We haven't done it in a while. Just humorous.
Yeah.
And, you know, that scene is a great example, too, of a great balance between drama and storyline and comedic relief moments between, like, her, like, thinking the woman's a dude at first and then, like, and then just being like, oh, well, you're one of those benevolent lesbians, and doing all that all the way down to the reveal of the child being in the room the whole time when this conversation's happening, his patient there. So it's just, that was actually one of my favorite scenes from top to bottom. I loved it.
So funny. Before we do go to the next topic, I want to shout you guys out for watching us, riding with us throughout the season. You guys make us the ESPN of TV Talk. You make this after show so fun to talk about. It's such a great show to talk about, and we love talking about it with you. If you don't know, you can always join us live on YouTube, and you can see us really crazy and up close. And if you are watching on YouTube, though, please leave us a like, leave us a comment so we can keep the conversation going. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us those 5 stars, leave us a review there, because we also love to chat with you there as well. So thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate the love.
We do. We get to do this every week and just come in and go bananas and talk about our favorite shows and our favorort actors. And it's pretty great. So we very much appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us every week. And I don't know about all of you guys, but I'm ready to talk about Kelvin and Keith. I'm ready to talk about our boys.
So fun.
Oh man, this was a rough one to get through. I feel like I just like from the beginning of this season, we've all just been so in love with these two, and Keith is just such a sweet little boy. He's a sweet little ex-Satanist.
I love Keith. Don't you ever come at Keith like that. Are you kidding me?
I was genuinely angry with Kelvin in that moment.
It felt like he was Jordan Woods and Kelvin was Kylie kicking Jordan out like she had a home to go to. Kelvin doesn't have a home. Keith doesn't have a home.
Oh, Steph's getting deep right now, guys. Deep.
He's gonna have to buy a new house. Have an eyelash line, get a new designer.
It's a lot. It's going to be a lot for him. Because obviously Kelvin is having this crisis of conscience right now, which I don't know if, did you see that coming? Because I know we talked about how he is the one who's kind of like the moral center of it all. Did you see this moment coming for him in this season?
No, not at all. And especially because of the conversation with his dad, I did not think that he would be going that way. But I guess if I look back at the breadcrumbs that they gave, he was the one who he felt like he got shafted during Easter Mass and didn't get to do he didn't get promoted.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's the middle child. Or he's the youngest child. And I don't know. So I see it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't predict that.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd see it. I was thinking, especially once we knew that there was going to be a season 2, that might come a little down the line. But again, like you said, he's not necessarily a bad guy. He's just narcissistic and an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, it comes from a much lighter place. So I like that they did it in this because it does set up a lot of great stuff for the finale next week. But yeah, it was hard watching him yell at Keith.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy that part.
I was mad.
And I know one of my predictions last week was, and it's kind of a wish too, is I want to see Keith, and I think we will see Keith kind of return the favor of Kelvin saving him, and he's going to want to save him right back because that's his boy. So we'll get more into new predictions, at the end of this episode, but I'm waiting very much on this storyline to see where it goes. We're shipping them hard all the time.
Ugh, I thought there was going to be like a heated kiss.
I think that's all we're waiting for.
Yeah.
That's all we're waiting for. Just give it to us.
Please.
Give them what the people want. And this next scene, this is what we have all been wanting for a while. To see Jesse take ownership of literally anything he's ever done.
The execution, though.
Oh, boy. Such a Jesse way to do it. I guess we can't ask for too much. It's baby steps. He, thinks that he's doing the right, well, he is doing the right thing, but in the wrong way of saying, this is what happened. It wasn't just on Gideon. He did this to get back at me for this thing that we all did. So the way that Jesse takes ownership is by also throwing everyone else under the bus with him.
He brings everyone in to the screening room. Yikes. And then introduces it with this quote. This is a lot like the Al-Qaeda beheading videos. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
What a way to intro. What a way to intro.
Such good writing.
It really is. And so true to his character that, of course, in his mind, he goes, I'm going to be the big man. I'm going to be, I'm filled with honor at this point for fessing up to my sins. But
I knew as soon as Gideon said, I feel free for the first time in a while, once he owned up to his part, I knew that the wheels were turning inside Jesse's head, and it manifested like this.
Yeah. And even within this, too, you see they do such a good job of writing to character no matter what's going on. And within Jesse's whole speech of saying, Jesse Gemstone is a human. Like, he's so narcissistic. He can't even get through this without just sounding like such an arrogant ass. But ultimately, he says, let's watch it. Cassidy Freeman is Amber. The daggers that she shoots in her eyes when she says screening room now. I was like, I was standing up. I was fist pumping. I was like, yes, girl. Finally, you get to see this. All the
wives in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine.
And in that moment, and then let's wait until they actually play the video. The Chad's kids are there.
I can't believe the wife is like, I want them to see who their daddy is. Ugh.
No, you just ruined those kids for life.
They just saw Gray Dick and they didn't need to.
No, and now they're just ruined for life. Now you got two other gemstones on your hands, basically.
Chad got the worst of it.
Oh, Chad.
The worst of it. He did the worst of it, apparently, but he got the worst of it.
Well, this is true, because also that was like the theme throughout the rest of the conversation, too, of like, well, it's not like we're Chad. At least we didn't have sex with a prostitute like Chad. Just poor Chad, really.
But I have follow-up questions. Was this the only time you guys did this? Did you have hookers a lot? Is this the only time you didn't screw a hooker?
Yeah, they 100% have done this before.
Yeah, that wasn't your first rodeo. You don't just grab a crack pipe like that and look that natural.
Well, this seems like very natural to me. Let me just go ahead and hit this crack pipe and it's fine. And also, too, just the idea of, again, within his tact of the delivery of all this, saying that, oh, don't worry, honey, I didn't sleep with that prostitute because her breasts smelled like shit. That's the only reason. Don't worry, Amber. It's because she smelled. So, just all over the place. Probably the worst apology / confession to ever exist? Are we in agreement on that?
100%, which is why metaphorically retweet Amber's following actions.
Yes. We finally see, and Jesse knows it. He knows the button to that room that unlocks her treasure trove of 1,000,000 guns.
James Bond came out, baby, and she was not playing. She went straight for the arse, just like a queen.
She's so cool and calm about it. Walked out there. Oh, lined it up. Jesse's frantically running.
That's what I thought. I was like, she's going to shoot him, but she's going to shoot him somewhere where he'll be okay. It will just hurt like hell. And what better place than the arse?
I mean, that, you know what? That's another moment. That's another one. Another chef's kiss to the sky on that one.
You really got him.
Direct to Amber.
I love how scared he was.
Oh my gosh. Just running and whimpering. And you know, if she wanted to kill him,
she could have.
Lights out.
Yeah.
But she, you know what she said? Let's go straight for the ass and see what happens next. Because also, Amber's smart. There's a lot of money riding on this one. Let's see what that prenup looks like.
So I told you, religious folk don't sign prenups.
Oh, that's true. Well, then she probably will just kill him. Life insurance.
No, she would get all the money.
Yeah. Oh, because, that's right. You've thought about this.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't play. If you're marrying me, don't you dare play me. I am 10 steps ahead. Thank you.
So also, Steph does a show here on how to screw over your future ex.
If you screw me over, I will screw you over and win. That's it.
I actually think we really need to talk to some of the producers here about that. I think that'd be a good.
Okay.
Let's get that going.
Let's work on it.
Yeah. And then we have this ending montage that is really excellent. That's why this show, I can't say enough good things about it, because really from every angle, and so many HBO shows are like this. You can't say enough good things about the acting, but then you get to the writing, and then you get to the directing, and the cinematography, and the music. And everything is just so well done in the editing for this ending montage.
Whole squad's on fire.
Really good. Yeah, so really we have Eli, paying to get Judy out of jail because she went apeshit at the grocery store.
We saw that coming.
Baby Billy and Tiffany are just out of there with all their money. Keith's hitting the road. What do we'll talk about it in predictions, but that was a sad moment for me. His little eyes were crying.
Cross Keith one more time, I swear to God.
We're just going to cancel Kelvin.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cancel him.
Don't do it again.
And then, of course, so the van's being pulled out of the swamp where apparently high tide was supposed to come in.
Because, tides just hit swamps.
Typically, yeah. Yeah, I believe that's how science works. You know what? Global warming. That's maybe it.
Religious folks sometimes don't believe in global warming either.
So he was thinking it was the tides because he doesn't believe in that. Yeah, it was Satan.
Yeah.
Satan is scorching the earth right now. So we're going to have that to deal with, that the van is getting pulled up with Scotty in it, or maybe not. Who knows? That guy might have lived. I still think the zombie theory is correct.
Me too.
And then, of course, we see that, Jesse was just shot in the ass. So from top to bottom, what a good episode. Get it.
Get it?
Anyways.
Okay. Great episode.
This was a great episode. I think these last two may have been two of my favorite of
Me too.
Of the season.
Me too, which is such a good indication of where they're going with the show.
And I can't believe this episode was one of the shorter ones. They all range, they're all in that 40-ish minutes. And this was at 35, I think, which it was a lot. They packed a lot in there.
I think it just shows the level of professionalism and mastery that they have with this team, because they'll have some episodes that I'm like, 45 minutes? That's a long episode for a comedy. And it flies.
Yeah.
And so they've mastered the ability to put what they need to put in and pace it how they need to pace it in a way that by the end of it, you don't know how much time has passed. You just know you got everything you needed.
Exactly. Damn. All right. Well, I think we should start our special segment, guys. For those of you who've been tuning in every week, we basically it's called The Righteous Rhyme That May Not Always Rhyme, where we just get to go in on a real-life megachurch pastor or televangelist who is essentially what the Gemstones are making fun of in their hypocrisy. So I think Steph is going to take it away for us.
Let us pray. Woo! Robertson. Marion Gordon Pat Robertson, full name. An American media module, televangelist, political commentator, former Republican presidential candidate, and former Southern Baptist minister. Does that sound like a controversial mixing or what?
Preach, Steph.
Robertson advocates a conservative Christian ideology and is known for his past activities in the Republican Party. Oh, that's just beautiful, Robertson. Thank you for mixing church and state. We love that here in America. It's not like it's against our rules or anything like that.
Preach.
For this sermon, I'm going to bring up a little remix. We're going to pull up quotes that were said by Pat Robertson himself on a matter of issues. And here we go.
Praise.
Robertson, who has repeatedly made clear his disapproval of homosexuality, made the latest comments in response to a question he fielded from a viewer on his Christian Broadcasting Network show, The 700 Club. It's always playing on ABC, and it will not get off my screen. Let me know if you feel the same way. It's absolute BS.
Satan.
He said, "To me, I would punch vomit, not like this if I saw it on Facebook. But they don't give you that option on Facebook." He said, "You've got a couple of same-sex guys kissing. Do you like that? Well, that makes me want to throw up."
Oh, damn it, Pat.
Okay, you're definitely a man of God. On adultery, quote, "Males have a tendency to wander a little bit, and what you want to do is make a home so wonderful he doesn't want to wander, because it's up to the woman to make sure their man doesn't cheat." That sounds like Mike Pence.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
On a man with an Alzheimer's-stricken wife, quote, "I know it sounds cruel, but if he's going to do something, he should divorce her and start all over again to make sure she has custodial care and somebody looking after her."
I can't.
Asked what about the till death do us part, which is what you preach in the Bible every day. He said, "Alzheimer's is a kind of death." On Walt Disney World's Gay Days, quote, "I would warn Orlando that you're right in the way of some serious hurricanes, and I don't think I'd be waving those flags in God's face if I were you. It'll bring about terrorist bombs. It'll bring earthquakes, tornadoes, and possibly a meteor." What?
Damn it, the meteors! You're coming.
I'm sorry, I have to keep going, guys. This is just riveting stuff. On the role of a man and a woman, quote, "I know this is painful for the ladies to hear, but if you get married, you have accepted the headship of a man, your husband. Christ is the head of the household, and the husband is the head of the wife, and that's the way it is, period." On feminism. Ooh. Quote, "The feminist agenda is not about equal rights for women. It's about a socialist, anti-family political movement that encourages women to leave their husbands, kill their children, practice witchcraft, destroy capitalism, and become lesbians."
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Loudy.
Oh, my God. There are
Sister
so many
Steph.
more, but I think I just dropped a few homosexual bombs on you all with that one.
Sister Steph, preach.
In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Wow, those were some holy... What? What?
I like that we started this episode not being able to speak, and now that we're getting close to the end of it, we're also not able to speak.
I kept seeing the quotes, and I was like, oh no, I don't even want to say these words.
I couldn't even act like I was appalled because I was so actually appalled.
Oh my God. I mean, he hit
Yikes.
every corner of just douchebag that you could possibly hit.
Oh my God. He really nailed it.
Wow, what a
Really
hateful
nailed it.
piece of crap.
That is a lot of hate.
Wow.
A lot of hate.
And I mean, that there and there is the issue of putting your church in religious beliefs into the way we run our democracy.
And also why this show is so great for being able to show that hypocritical spin that we see so often, and the lines being blurred and the lines being crossed that shouldn't be getting crossed.
Wow, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was sweating.
I'm sweating a lot. I'm
pissed,
some more
and
of
I'm
this
going to
terrible
drink Christ's
wine.
blood because you have pissed me off, sir.
We have no other choice. But let's go to a quick brighter moment for a little bit of news and gossip.
Woo!
AfterBuzz TV News.
Super quick this week, guys. Just wanted to shout out an article from the Los Angeles Times that I found about Cassie Freeman, because this was her episode, in my opinion. I've loved Charles' season as Amber, but this was such a great episode for her. Brilliant throughout all of it. And I just thought it was a cool article because they're talking about, it's called Actress Cassie Freeman's Kitchen Celebrates Family and Friends. She talks about how it's her favorite room. And I found it interesting that she lives in an 893 square foot apartment in Los Angeles, and she's lived there for the past 13 years.
Oh my gosh.
She also has
hi.
a home in New Mexico, and it sounds adorable. I'd love to visit it. Marigold Yellow Kitchen features special pieces by loved ones. So I feel like she just might be such a sweet,
the perfect human we thought she was.
Exactly, deep down inside that Amber truly is somewhere.
Oh, Amber, I love you.
But I just thought it was a cool article to get to know a little bit more about her. Like I said, it's in the LA Times. I'll post it for you guys as well if you want to check it out and learn a little bit more about Cassie Freeman and why she loves her adorable kitchen so much.
Well, we love you.
But we have some predictions for next week. Let's jump in.
Quick predictions.
TV predictions.
So they
Hit me.
told us that we know the cops came by Daddy Gemstone's house, and Kelvin goes to the dark side. I think that Keith is going to save Kelvin, and I think we're not done with Baby Billy, but I don't know how he gets implemented into the story. But they're going to find out that the van was found without money.
Yeah, 100% agree on those. I think Judy, we're either going to see a big breakout moment for her after that meltdown of trying to break away, or literally becoming the lapdog to Eli again.
Yeah.
And going to try and take down Baby Billy on her dad's behalf, because she's pissed at both of them now, but Baby Billy is pissed her off most recently.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, with Eli bailing her out, she's going to kind of go back to, okay, daddy, yes, daddy, no, daddy. Poor Judy.
Agreed.
Oh, man. Guys, we have the finale next week. Very excited for the episode, but very bummed to see this
too.
season ending. In the meantime, Steph, where can we find you online?
You guys can find me at Steph Sebraw on Instagram and Twitter. And don't you worry, after this episode, you can start watching SNL if you haven't started already. It was a series, the season premiere last week, but Amy and I cover that on our comedies channel as well, Tuesday nights at
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yes. So, yeah, definitely check us out if you're watching SNL. And if you're not watching SNL, you should be anyway. So check that out, and then check us out. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Amy Maestri. We'll see you guys next week for the finale. Praise
me!
Loud Jesus!
Lord Jesus!
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.